All right, I think we're good to go here. YouTube guys, can you hear me? Let me just quickly check if the sound is working on TikTok, and then we'll be good to go. Yep. Okay, sweet as. Just give me 1 second. Just want to double check that this is all good to go as well. Come on, come on, come on. TikTok's good to go. Okay, sweet as. That's weird. I can't actually see if the stream is up and running or not. All right, team. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing two-way tables. And I think we're maybe about another 1 hour or 2 hours from finishing this particular probability series. Welcome back, Average Bot. So we're going to get right into it, people. So just doing two-way tables at the moment. Just give me 1 second. I just want to double check one last thing, and we shall be good to go after that. Floating window. Oh, yep, that's all good. Sweet, we're good to go. All right, so two-way tables is the one where you kind of have these tables, and then we kind of work through the tables. So I thought I'll do like one quick example with you guys, and then after that what we'll do is after that we'll actually try and go through a question on your own. And we're pretty much going to be spending majority of our time with two-way tables. So if this is something that you're confident in, then I would probably suggest that this is where you take the night off and go do some other work. No, are you kidding me? I know that could star. Oh man, that's crazy. That is so crazy. Because usually when you buy the papers, they actually have answers at the end. I gotta ask Star, which school are you from? That is just insane, but bit of fun. But all right, so let's do this particular one here. So when you, oh damn it, not great at drawing two-way tables. When you actually get these, oh really? Oh no, that's yeah, that's a bit crazy. All right, so when we get these two-way tables, the first thing we want to do is you've got to kind of fill it up, right? So I know I've done a terrible job with drawing my tables here, but that's all right. So what we're going to do is we kind of have to fill up these tables. So it shows who's studying maths and science in year 11 and 12. So when we look at this 78 here, this is 78 students in year 11. So you got to take the calculator out, and you just got to find out all these other numbers that you got to literally fill the table up. That's what it is. So 78 take away 35, that's going to be, I don't know, 43. So that's going to be 43, is it? Yep. And then you've got 95 take away 42. That's going to be 53. And then what you also have to do is you also have to do the totals along this side. So that's going to be 53 and 35. That's going to be 88. 43 and 42 is going to be 85. And then the total of that is going to be 173. So what you need to make sure is that these two numbers add up to 173, and these two numbers add up to 173 as well. Now, that's pretty much how you set up the That's pretty much how you set up the two-way table. And then now we need to try and work out the percentage of students who study maths in year 11 out of all students. So that part, what I would say is not required. Sorry, I see what happened again. Now I changed a couple of settings, and it's it kind of messed up. So sorry, TikTok. I can now see your comments. All right, so now we've got to work out the we've got to work out the percentage of students who study maths in year 11 out of all students. All right, so when you look at out of all students, that's going to be 78 students out of 173. And so we're going to put this in the calculator, and we should be pretty good to go after that. So run this 78 over 173. Just double checking my answers because I've just kind of started it. Unless I've made a mistake somewhere. Have I made a mistake somewhere? No, I have not. You're gonna hear a plane all the time. That's pretty much, I live in a flight path. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this one. So percentage is gonna be 45.1%, I guess. We can actually stick with that. Not today, mate. Oh yeah, true. Sorry, bombed it completely. I was not thinking about the maths. Nah, you guys are right. That should be 35. My bad. Maths in year 13. See, this is what happens. I was trying to get distracted by a couple of people. It did say maths in year 11, and I actually did year 11. So that should only be 35 out of 173. So Jonty, I think you were right there. It's got distracted. My bad there. 35 divided by 173. There you go. That should be the 20.23. That was not a purposeful mistake. It was a genuine mistake, all right? And yes, I do make them. Why is there a plane in my room? No, my mic is really good. It just picks up the plane. Caitlin, to answer your question for the whole parts thing, I have set up a whole bunch of playlists. And if you are in level 2 at the moment, then what you can do is, so these ones you need to start watching from part 1, and same with the probability one, watching from part 1. It just kind of works through it. I reckon I probably will finish level 2 probability in 10 hours. So maybe another couple of sessions, and we should be done with level 2 probability. So yeah, ideally watching from 1 to 10. Yeah, so you can watch all those 3 playlists that I just put up there. Oh, nice, Jaden. That's awesome. Hey, we did do tree diagrams at the start of, I think it's part 2 and 3. So go check that out. All right, so I've got a whole section of questions here. And I'm going to try and see if I can fit this in the screen. So there's quite a few questions here, and I probably am going to give you guys maybe about 5 to I'll give you 2 minutes to go through the table, and then after the table we will actually go through each one of these answers. All right, so 2 minutes to get the table done. Once you get the table done, and then I'll probably give you like half a minute for each of these questions, and then we'll work through. So not even 2 minutes, I think 1 minute. So I'll start going through the answer at 8:10. Abram, we already did that as well. I think that was part 7 and part 6 of this playlist. So if you go to YouTube and look at the level 2 probability in 10 hours playlist, it's part 6 or part 7 where we do the finding standard deviation and mean. You're welcome, Avery. Can you tell me what was in the mark? Eamon, I think I've only got like this and relative risk and maybe some shape stuff. So I reckon I can finish it in another 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Logan, I'm surprised because I mean the maths guys know that I'm still struggling with stats, but learning as we go. How was it, Kesson? How was the exams? All right, so I'll do the table first, and then from the table we will actually kind of work through very slowly. All right, so there is my table. This is what happens when you actually work with Google at the moment, because but yeah, anyway, so we're gonna go with the table here. I'm gonna start doing this slowly, folks. 20, so we've got 800 in total, and because we've already got half the table filled up here, it's fairly easy to fill up the table. So we're gonna figure out this thing here first, because we've got 800 minus 680, so that's gonna be 120. Then if we go along the top there with not vaccinated, we've got 80 with no flu shot, which means 40 is going to be with flu shot, because 40 plus 80 is 120. Then we've got no flu shot. We've got total is 300. Not vaccinated is 80. So 300 take away 80 is going to be 220. We also have the totals for flu shot and no flu shot, because we've got 800 and 300. So we can go 800 minus 300. That's going to give us 500. And then finally 500 minus 40, and that's going to give me 460 for the flu shot and vaccinated. Now, a really good idea is just to double check that these numbers add up. These two add up. So they all add up with the two-way tables on both sides. So they add up this way as well. So going along, do they add up? So those parts is like really important. Sorry, I know that I should have messed this up. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that, the hell, where's my red highlighter? So basically these things get added up together. We also want these things along this way as well as this way. So that's pretty much a really important step to do. If your table is not correct, you're pretty much going to get the rest of the question wrong. So you really want to make sure that your table is actually accurate. Once your table is accurate, then we're ready to go through each question. So like I said before, what I'll do is I will, feel free to start putting up the answers on the chat, folks, if you know what the answers are, and then we can kind of like go through one at a time, right? So just type in A, and then you can put it as a fraction, that's fine, because none of these is asking for probability. Kesson, that's all right, mate. I mean, we're meant to make, silly mistakes, so it's fine. Ethan, I don't think I can do that because I don't actually teach level 1 to 3. Oh, you're talking about exemplary. I was thinking of excellence. Okay, so let's go through question A here. I'm just going to get rid of the highlighted parts because for each of these questions, I kind of need... Whoa, what's happening here? Yeah, so for these questions, I'm actually going to need... I'm going to need the highlighters to kind of go through this. So we got calculate the proportion of students that were not vaccinated. So this is the total that was not vaccinated, and that's out of 800. So we're just going to write it down as 120 out of 800. Nice, okay, yeah, I do have it on my list. I just probably this weekend sometime I'll have to work on it. So that's probably that's question A. If you do want to leave it as what do you call it, a decimal, you can actually leave it as 0.15 or 15%. That's not a problem as well. So that was basically for not vaccinated. Next, we're going to look at probability that a student has, what have we got? Has not had a flu shot. So has not had a flu shot. No flu shot is actually 300. So we're going to go, that's going to be 300 out of 800. That's going to be part B there. Sorry, indefinable. I'm just like, there's a lot of things that's happening there. I saw your message on why you're ignoring me. I don't know how I'm ignoring you. Kasan, got it. Bell graphs are easy. Tables are medium. Probability are quite hard. Yeah, I'd say so too. Jaden there. All right, calculate the probability. Question C, we're looking at probability that a student who is not vaccinated has also not had a flu shot. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting, right? Because what you're looking for is that this kid is actually, the student is not vaccinated and also no flu shot. So what you need to do is, if you look at it, if it's given that they're not vaccinated and no flu shot, question C is actually going to be 80 out of 120. Good luck, AFG. We've got complex numbers tomorrow, right? Yeah, I'll see you then. Let me know if you have any questions with question C, because I know it's a little bit, the words can be a little bit different. But if you look at the first part, they're actually saying that your student is actually, you're no longer looking at all the students. You're actually looking from the students who are not vaccinated. So that's actually 120 kids that are not vaccinated. And from that 120, 80 of them did not have a flu shot. Star and certified, hello. Yeah, so the reason, the reason we're going with 120 is because the question is actually saying, calculate the probability that a student who is not vaccinated. So you're no longer looking at the full 800 people. You're actually looking at only the 120 kids who are not vaccinated. Okay. Now, question D says, what conclusion can you draw from your answers to the last two questions? What do you guys think? Like, what's an assumption that, I hate these kind of questions, you know, like writing conclusion. Give me number questions. I'll do them anytime. Anytime they ask me to write words, I always kind of stumble. So one of the things that we kind of can talk about here is like, let me just grab my notes. So for question D, what you can kind of say is so normal probability, I think that was 37.5%, which is from here. And then this was 66.67%. Nice, Toby, congratulations. So what we can say is probability of student not having a flu shot is 37.5, but the probability of them not having a flu shot, given that they're not vaccinated as well, is much higher. So basically all it says is like these two events, they're like independent. So, and there's kind of like, so is there an association? Nah, I don't know, man. Like I would just put that, like, I would just state this. I would say that the probability of student not having a flu shot is 37, and the probability of a student not having a flu shot, given they're not vaccinated, is much higher at 66.7%. But I'm not completely sure after that part there. I need to actually go back and have a look at my notes. Yeah. Sorry. It suggests that they're not actually independent. They're not independent because there is a connection between students' vaccination shot and whether they had a flu shot or not as well. So yeah, it depends on the context of the question, people. Like you've got to just think about what the probabilities that you get with, and then kind of go from there. Hey, what's up, Jarvis? Kesson, I think the more you practice, you start to get better at it. But for now, it's just it always happens. Hey, Jaden. All right, let's go through question E, guys. Question E is calculate the probability. Student selected either had no flu shot, or was not vaccinated. So we're actually looking for a probability that they had no flu shot or not vaccinated. Good luck, Ephra. I think this is an interesting one because I'm like, how is this gonna work? What did you guys get for this question E here? So you got to calculate the probability selected either had no flu shot or was not vaccinated. Yeah, star, you got it. Yeah, you got to get 42.5%. Yeah, 425, that's right. So let's have a look at this question here, because this question is, it says they either had no flu shot. So that's going to be 300, right? Then you look at not vaccinated. That's actually 120. But the problem is, if you add those two, you've actually got 80 people that you're going to be adding twice. So what you need to do is you need to go 300 plus 120, take away 80, which actually gives you 340 out of the 800. So you should end up with 340 over 800, which is actually 0.425. This is two-way tables, Massey, in probability level 2. Let me know if you have any questions with question E. Hey, Leila, welcome back. And then we can actually go through the next lot of questions. Okay, if we're good with that. Now, question F basically says, no, this is not a past paper. I just pulled up some questions and chucked it up on ChatGPT to generate it. Why did I take away 80? Maddie, that's because 80 is getting added twice. Because if you think about it, there's actually 300 people that have no flu shot. And there's also 120 people that's not vaccinated. Now, if we add those two up, we're going to get 420. But we're actually adding 80 people who are actually not vaccinated as well as not had the flu shot. So we're actually adding them twice. That's why we need to take away one lot of 80. It's kind of like this. If you think about it like a Venn diagram, which I know you guys might have not seen it yet, but it's like this. This one circle is 300. The other circle is 120, but 80 of them are actually in the middle. So you're actually adding that 80 twice. That's why you take away 80, one lot of 80. Looking at question F, how many students are likely to find who are not vaccinated? Not vaccinated was 120 out of 800. So 120 out of 800 multiplied by 24,000. That should give us how many students that we're going to get. So it's 0.15 times 24,000. 24,000. So that actually gives us 3,600 students. But the assumption that we're going to make is that this sample of 800 students is actually a representative of the whole population. So that's the only part that we need to remember about the assumptions. Okay, we're good to go. Last question. Part of the expanded screening, it's proposed that vitamin pack is given to each student, blah, 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 who is fully vaccinated and has also had a flu shot. If each pack costs $2.50, estimate the total cost. Yeah, this should be a nice one, people, for you guys to try and do. Now, I think the only thing that you need to remember with this question, the question G, is part of the expanded screening, which means you've got to look at how many students that are going to be from that 24,000. All right, so give it a go, and then we'll go through the answer. I'll give you guys 1 minute to try and do it. How do I know which goes one on the bottom or top? Ephra, I don't know which one you're talking about exactly. When you say which one goes on the top or bottom. I think you might be missing a 0 there, Samuel. All right, let's have a look at this question, all right? So we've got fully vaccinated and has had a flu shot. That's actually 460. So fully vaccinated and had a flu shot. That's going to be 460. So we've got 460 out of 800, which equals to 0.575. Now, the next thing is that if each of these medicine is $2.50, we got to figure out how many kids actually get this. And they've got 24,000 altogether, students. So we're going to go 0.575 multiplied by 24,000. And that's going to give us, and I guess we might as well multiply it by $2.50 to get how much this whole thing is going to cost us. So 0.575 multiplied by 24,000 multiplied by $2.50, and that should give us $34,000 and $34,500. Ronak, I would say probably achieved / merit questions. Like, I think question G is definitely a merit. Good luck, Aditya. Ephra, if you're talking about relative risk, I'm going to be doing it next time we do level 2 probability. So that's when I'll be covering relative risk, and it's not too bad. I think once you get the hang of it, you'll be all right. Let me know if you guys are okay, and if you want another question, I can generate another question. Oh, Sahil's back. What's up, Sahil? Hopefully the print is done, Sahil. Would you guys like another question like this detailed, or shorten it? No, I can't do a normal distribution one because I'm creating a series here, and this is part 8 of this particular series, and I've already finished normal distribution in part 4, 5, and 6. I'm just picking up another question, team. I think we'll probably just do one more question, and then we are going to be done with that. Let me just grab another question. I gotta chuck it through Gemini. Just feel free to wait for a second while I generate this question. Give me a similar question and answer. And I'll just copy it over, and then we should be good to go after that. Hey, McHenry, what's up? Samuel, the reason I use AI ones is because it's pretty much easy for me to put the questions there and just generate it. Otherwise, I have to actually I have to create the questions manually. And right now, like, you know, being a full-time, if I'm not a full-time teacher, then 100% I'd create the questions during the daytime and have it all ready for you guys in the nighttime, and even have like booklets and things like that. Like, that would be easy for me to do. But because I am a full-time teacher, and and I'm also the schools, you know, I've got a few roles in the schools. It makes it really hard for me to try and create questions on the go. All right, guys, this is our next question. Just loading it up. Give me a second. Luckily, I'm gonna actually put it's gonna have all the things in it, so all the values in it, so we should be good. So this one, I'm only gonna give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe we'll spend like 5 minutes and go through the first 4 questions, and then after that we'll do the next 5 after that. Give it a go. I did, Aditya. I said good luck for you. What's TS? Lucas, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited. I think I have it Friday 17th of October, I think it is. It's week 2 of Friday, whatever that date is. Week 2 Friday. I'm looking forward to Pomp, man. Yeah, so with this one, just, you know, feel free to write the answers, or even, I think you guys will be done in like a few minutes. I'll probably go through the answers at 8:35, eh? So let's actually do all the answers, and then I'll go through each one of them. You're jumping onto YouTube now, Lucas. Dragon Cat, I watched like the season 1, and then I honestly haven't had the time to actually go back to it. Gabs, I don't know, when is your mocks? If it's tomorrow, then you still got time to do some revision. Last minute. We failing chat. Nah, we're not, LeBron. We're making mistakes and we're learning from them. I'm not gonna lie, like right now, the thing that's in my head constantly is the songs from K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, can't get rid of those songs. I never understand. Oh, Nat. 100% the songs are amazing. Like, they just get stuck in your head, and I'm not sick of them yet, and I'm sure I'm going to get sick of them very soon. But you know what? You can't beat them, join them. I've actually got a reel set up that I was going to make based on the K-pop Demon Hunter songs. Raymond's your brother, Clips. Oh, happy birthday, Raymond. Guys, I got another half a minute, and then I'll go through the answers for this, all right? Give it a go. I mean, like, look, I like two-way tables because they're like, they pretty much say, here's an achieved, here's a merit. And all you got to do is just get the table right and then just match the words to those numbers, and you're good to go. All right, 8:35. So let's get going with these answers. See how many of them you got right. So the first one is calculate the probability that a moviegoer chooses popcorn. Now popcorn, we've actually got 300. So that's going to be 300 out of 500. Nice and simple. Or you could have had the answer as 0.6. That's also fine. Looking at question B, calculate the probability that a moviegoer chooses popcorn and watch an action movie. That's going to be 120 because that's choosing popcorn and action. So that's actually 120. So that's 120 out of 500, which equals to 0.24. Next one, calculate the percentage of people who chooses nachos, or watched a comedy. Now, this is one of those weird questions that we just did, right? Like, remember the previous question that we did? So if you look at nachos is actually 200 and 150 is actually comedy. But there's 50 that's doing both. So we've got to go 200 plus 150, take away 50, and that should give us 300 there. So I've got the 200 that's nachos, plus the 150 for comedy, minus the 50 for the double up, which gives me altogether 300 out of 500, which is 0.6. Hopefully with me so far. And then we're going to go to question D. So question D is calculate the proportion of comedy watchers who selected nachos. So if you look at it, we've actually got 150 people that selected comedy. So if you look at comedy, that's 150. And from that 150, who selected nachos? That was actually 50. So we actually say 50 out of 150 for this. And that's going to be 0.33. Question E, we've got calculate the proportion of students who choose an action movie who had nachos to eat. So who chose an action movie and nachos to eat. So that's going to be 100 out of 220. Because if you look at it, the number of people that chose action movie was 220. And from that 220, nachos was actually 100. So we got 100 out of 220, which is roughly 0.455. Oh, sorry, good point. Yeah, you're right. That should be 60%. My bad. Thanks for spotting that, Maddie. That would suck, right? Like, I mean, if you didn't put the percentage and you actually put like 0.6 and they don't give you a mark for that. Nah, RL probability. Are you doing level 2 probability or level 3 RL? Because I'm telling you, level 2 is not bad. You can probably learn it in the holidays, mate. Yeah, level 2 probability is easy. It's easy to get through. Write a sentence comparing your last two answers. I would say, like, I think, I'd probably say, like, guys that go to action movies tend to get nachos more likely to select nachos. And that's because your probability says that, 45% of the guys that go to action movies eat nachos, while for the comedy, it's only 33%. That's just a little comment I'd actually write. Mayan, for probability, when you're doing normal distribution, I would go 4 decimal places. But for these ones, 2 is sufficient, more than enough. Because a lot of them tend to be like, fractions. So they tend to be kind of like, you'd be better off writing fractions as your answers. Question G. Calculate the proportion of moviegoers who choose nachos. So they're choosing nachos. That's out of 200. And watched either a comedy or a horror film. So either a comedy or a horror. That's 50 over 50. Let me just double check this. Proportion of moviegoers who chooses nachos. Huh. And watched. No. I actually did this wrong. Hang on. Proportion of moviegoers who chooses nachos and watched either a comedy or horror film. So when it says proportion of moviegoers, that's actually 500. And then if I look at who chooses nachos and watched either a comedy or horror, that's 50 and 50, which is actually equal to 100. So the proportion should be 0.2. What? How? So calc and stats together, but my school does not. Oh, right. I think if you do I'm guessing RL, if you do the calc paper, that's calculus and algebra, and probability is it's not attached to it. Stats would be like a separate course where they do a lot more internals, and then probability will only be one of the externals. Ultimately, RL, you got to look at what your career pathway is and then pick based on that, mate. All right, sweet. Is that okay, guys? And we're going to go to question H here, which is the last question for tonight, because I think this is pretty much all that you need to know for like these kind of questions. Cinemas hosting a film festival, expects 1,200 visitors. Estimate the number of popcorn tubs they should order. So if we look at the current population says that we've got 300 out of 500 is for popcorn, which is actually 0.6. So if you take 0.6 and you multiply it by 1,200, you're going to get 720. That means you're looking at 720 tubs of popcorn. So let me know if you have any questions with this one, but otherwise we are pretty much done for this, because I don't think I need to do any more questions in two-way tables. Yeah, then next we go to risk. Jaden, I mean, look, all I can say is like just talk to your student leaders or your deputy principals and let's see what we can make happen, man. Will I bring histograms? Yeah, I think we'll do histograms in the probably session 10. Session 9 we're going to be doing relative risk, and then part 10 we'll do the histogram part and kind of cover all that shape and probability and so on. So if this is actually level 2 probability, part of a series that I've created. So on YouTube you would actually find the previous 7 parts. This is part 8 of this. So ecosograms, I don't even know what that is. Maths with cell. What is that? Go to channel. What is ecosograms? I'm curious now. Ecosograms. Is that a trick? Ooh. Oh, those things. No, I think I was probably wagging my university class when they did that. Oh, these things. Yeah. I remember seeing these things. They have weird ones, but... Yeah, nah, look, maths with cell. I'm more of a calculus and algebra guy. These guys have converted me into probability. I try my best, but I'm completely out of depth in that, man. But I've not actually seen it in level 3. I'm trying to think. Did I see it in level 3? Oh god, it's been such a long time since I've done level 3, so I wouldn't actually know where to begin with that. All right, so team, look, that's pretty much it for today, folks. Good chats, and yeah, I'll hang around for a few minutes just to have a chat, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow for level 3 complex, yeah, because that should be more fun. But yeah, this is the probability series, and we'll got two more things to cover, and then we'll be done for that. But if you guys do have mocks tomorrow, good luck for it. And I know there's quite a few folks that are doing CAA tomorrow. Good luck for you as well. Oh, why am I surprised that they would do that, Mats would sell? Because I think I saw it last year, and I was like, I've only done like 2 or 3 probability level 3 papers, and I remember seeing that once, and I was like, man, come on, this is like, why would they do stuff like this? But you know what? That's NCEA for us, eh? They like to throw us in the deep end. Are you doing the CAA, Soph? Nah, CAA. Soph, like, I think, to be honest, Soph, like, it's not something you need to kind of, how do I say it? You know, I know it's very easy for me to sit back here and say, don't get stressed. But really what you need to do is, you know, just go back and do a few questions from the practice papers. And if you're like, look, I'm kind of stuck here, then take those questions, put them in ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever AI software you're using. Ask it to generate some questions for you, and then, you know, like, do the answers. And then, like, I even suggest things like, you know, get an exam paper, download an exam paper and try and do it, and then upload it into ChatGPT and say, look, analyze my paper and tell me where am I making mistakes, and go from there. I can't remember. Abu Kadi, I think your name is. Abu Kadi, if you go to my probability in the playlist on YouTube, I think to do the Z formula, it's episode 4 or 5. That's when I started doing the normal distribution. So definitely worth having a look there, bud. Samuel, I think if anything, I've thought about leaving teaching for so many times, and doing figuring out how to do this full time, because I love doing what I do here, just helping you guys. But you know, when it comes to the pay, it doesn't pay as much as teaching does. So I've got to, teaching is my, but some people say teaching is my side gig. Everything else is, you know, everything else I have fun with. I've not thought about other subjects though, no, but more about creating things. So that's definitely something I love doing. Can you cover level 3 imaginary numbers, specifically locus and loci? Arjun, I think complex numbers playlist, the very last video covers loci. Yeah, Mats would sell. I think it's to be honest, like, you know, like I'm exhausted from August till about November. I'm so tired. Like, I don't get sleep because I'm constantly working. But you know what? It's something that you just do to make you know, to support some kids get through some maths, man. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So no problems. Yeah, like, look, just easy. Just as I said to you before, just grab the work and chuck it in GPT and just generate it, and you'll be good to go. Ruben Dempsey, I have made a pledge, and I need to actually probably drop a video to say that while I'm absolutely terrified about approaching probability distributions, this holidays we're going to spend probably half a day. I am going to learn probability distributions with you at the same time. I'm going to stream. I don't care if it's like 6 hours we stream, and we try and understand probability distribution. And I'm going to do it in the holidays, yeah? but we'll take, I'll pick a date and we'll actually do that. Kutapan, I did visit Sancta Maria. I visited them last year. And I teach only down the road from you guys. I teach at Ormiston Junior College. I do remember you, CR7. Dark, 1 out of 10. How smart are you? I like to think that I'm at a -1 because I feel that learning never stops and you can always learn more. So I prefer to be at the -1 because I like to keep learning. Maths would sell. Like I see you tutor all evening. Is it like, are you a teacher or what is it? The maths would sell. Oh, all right, all right. He's a fellow streamer. Nice. There we go. You can take the probability distribution ones, mate. Yeah. Doing a postgrad degree. Nice, mate. What were you doing before this? Like, I mean, what was your normal gig? Yeah, probably not Y-Star. Jazz, yes, you did join late, but you know, I think we did a bit of probability. We did two-way tables. You can catch the replay on YouTube. It'll be saved under part 8 of level 2 probability. Max, can you just email it to me, please? And then I'll probably have a look at it later tonight after I finish my schoolwork. Still got to do that. No problem, Ruben. You're welcome, mate. Yes, Pika, I figured out how to do. I would love to, like, it's so challenging, Pika, because I've got 2 chats going at the moment. And I've thought about streaming on Instagram at the same time as well. You know, just thinking, why the hell not? Yeah, so at the moment it's YouTube is going live, and anything I do on TikTok just gets saved on YouTube. That way it's the same video. Come to St. Orange College. I don't know where that is, but talk to your student leaders and your DP, Taylor. I can't see why we can't actually make it happen. What's my email? Just jump onto YouTube, mate. Like in YouTube, in my main, there's a contact button. You should just be able to contact there, or just jump on Instagram, whatever socials you have. No way Mats would sell. You're kidding me. Mr. Dog is going crazy. Yeah. Oh, man, I didn't realize that. That's awesome to hear Mats would sell. 10 years. Damn. That's awesome. Pika, you'll be fine. I think 15 hours. I wish you had actually reached the 15-hour playlist before the mocks, because that 15-hour playlist has been a huge help for a lot of kids. Oral, that's crazy, man. That's amazing to hear. 30 hours a week Mats would sell. That is insane. How do you actually do 30 hours a week? And do you do one-on-one tutoring or? Hi, Zihan. How you doing? Nah, Mats would sell. Like, I've actually got, you know, I do a little bit of work on YouTube. It gives me a little bit during October month. Can't afford a holiday. That's it. Nothing more. But I have another business on the side where I make 21st keys and things like that. I've just finished a project, but it's actually in my garage just drying. That's something I do as well. But nah, mate, I completely understand. You got to have like multiple sources of income as teachers, otherwise it's out. Carter X UT, Carter UT YT. I think, look, that's you've got to look at the positives from it, right? Like, look, you're making small mistakes on all of the excellence questions and you got an achieved. That's actually not bad. You just got to go back and have a look at where you made those mistakes. And again, like as I said to someone else before, I will throw your answers up on GPT or like Gemini and ask it to write a custom lesson plan for you, or even a custom questions for you, so that you avoid those mistakes. So you've got to really target on where your mistakes are coming from and then kind of work through that. Now, someone else asked me, it's like, sorry, I missed that question. Who was it? How many times a week should I study for and how long? Doc, I think, Doc, you asked me the question. It's entirely your learning style. Like, I know people like my sister, man. She doesn't study and she always gets A's, right? I would put in like 10 hours and I would struggle to get a C. But I think what I realized is consistency. Like, set yourself a plan to say, look, you've got to do it slowly. You can't just wake up one morning and go, I'm going to study for 10 hours. It doesn't work like that, Doc. What you got to do is like, you got to maybe aim for like I would start with, like, right now, I would say you probably need to be doing minimum half an hour for each of your subjects. If you start with that, that's a good starting point. And then slowly you start increasing that time later on to like, as you get closer to the exam, you should really be picking in about close to an hour per subject, and you just space it out. You don't actually do all at the same time. Like, I used to get up in the morning and do like an hour of, some work just before breakfast and then go to school. So lots and lots of little strategies that you can do. Come to level 3 complex numbers live stream. Yeah, Sal, it would be good for you to pop over to complex numbers. And there you go. Sal does one-to-one lessons. What the hell is this? Go to live studio. All right. What do you mean inactivity detected, you stupid thing? I'm like talking to these people. Max, I'll have a look at it, all right? Oral got them, like, again, it depends, right? Like, see, I like to work late in the night. Like, sometimes I work, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I work best on Friday nights and Saturday nights. Sometimes I've worked till like Saturday morning, 1 a.m. because I literally, like, I get into a zone, and once I get into the zone, man, like, I can't get distracted. I just chip away at things. So what you got to find out is what's the best time for you to do your work. Like, sometimes I like working in the mornings. Like, I get up in the morning because it's completely quiet in the house, no one to interrupt me, just jump on and just get on with the work. So Jamie, no, I don't actually do it at all. I don't do one-on-one tutoring at all because long story short, I could charge like 100 and something for one-on-one tutoring. I help one student, or I do it for free and I help whatever. Today I helped like about 50 kids in this 1 hour. So I'm gonna go with the other one, eh? So that's why I don't do one-on-one tutoring at all. Cooper, I don't know how I can help you with your physics exam, but I know a guy that can help you. His name is Mr. Weebly. He's from Tauranga Boys. He does a lot of good physics tutorials on YouTube. Go check him out. 100% recommend him. But you got a 23 in your probability mock, 702. That's epic. That's super confident, man, going into mocks and getting like 23 out of 24. Oh, Leon. What is this AS exam? Is this Cambridge? And how can I do work on it? That's what I need to know. Leon, you got to help me out, Leon. Don't run away. Yeah, as Pika said, Mr. Weebly on YouTube is brilliant. Giono, yeah, no, I don't think so, man. Jaden, I don't know, to be honest. Like, I mean, if you do know, I'll ask around and see if I can find anybody. I can let you know. But Alpha Atoms for chemistry, Weebly for good old physics. Where did Leon go? Leon. Okay, Leon. Where can I get the exam papers? Leon, before you run away. Don't run away. I need to know where you get the exam papers. I want to make exam videos for Cambridge. Send me a link, dude. Oral. Chemistry is use Alpha Atoms. And can you guys also message the guy? Because he stopped making videos about a year ago. And I've been kind of poking him like, come back, man. Come back and make some more videos. The kids need you. He's amazing in it. Papa Cambridge as mathematics. Papa Cambridge AS mathematics. What is Papa Cambridge? Pap? Oh, right. And then which, like, what level is yours, man? You've got like these levels. I don't know which one it is. AS Maths GCE. Oh my God, what is this? I can't see any. 9231. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna jump over, Leon. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna jump on this. All right, here's where I am, Leon. So which one are you doing? Are you doing the 9231? Is that the AS? Because there's like 3 numbers here. What are all those 3 numbers? What's 9280? They're all A levels. 9709. So it's 9709 like year 13, and then this is year 12 and year 11. Is that what it is? No? Oh, damn it. Okay. It's like for different zones. What do you mean zones? Oh, right. This only goes up to 2015. What about 9280? Oh, so you're only doing 9709. I see. I understand. So when is the Cambridge papers for, like, when is your next Cambridge exam? Because I can see that this is all June. Damn, that's a lot of June papers. Sorry, YouTube, I'm coming back to you. Don't worry. I'm just catching up with good old Leon here. Finals, internals. So, Leon, are these are the papers you use for revision? Is that correct? And then next month you have your actual exams. Sweet, man. After when is it in November, Leon, your exams? I'm just trying to get a gauge of when the date is for your exams. Maths would sell. Thanks, Maths would sell. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, no brain too small is also good, Samuel. Pure is October and stats is November. Oh, okay. All right, Leon. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, man, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I just don't know what the starting point for that is. So I really appreciate it. You have a good night, man. LOL. Scholarship calculus tips. Look up Calc WLD in YouTube. Amazing teacher from Mount Albert Grammar School. Sartorial, sure, shout out for you. Yeah, here's a shout out for you. I don't even know what that means, man, but I don't get younger every day. I'm getting old. Oh, t-shirt giveaway. You guys are early for t-shirt giveaway. We're not going to do it till 25th of September. That's the last Thursday. But I might actually do it next Thursday because it's end of term 3 giveaway. We can do that. Probability or calc harder in your opinion? Unknown user, I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved stats. Vaguely remember Balraj 702. Staffer, relative risk. I'm gonna do it in the next couple of episodes on probability playlist in on my YouTube. But if you want to look for the mean and standard deviation, go look at episode 6 and 7, I think it is, and probability, and then you should be good to go with that. See the t-shirt? No, I don't have any, Leo. Like, I have put all my t-shirts in the garage, Leo. Eamon, we'll probably do it next week, and I'll try and finish it by the holidays. We've only got 2 more sessions. So I've got relative risk, and then I've got to explain histograms for level 2 probability as well. So we'll do both of that before the holidays end, and then we should be good to go. Sure, man, Mohit. I'm also the most annoying one there, trust me. Sartorial, to be honest, man, look, no matter what you change, one thing that's not going to change is a squared plus b squared is still going to be h squared. SOHCAHTOA is still going to be the same. So it doesn't matter what they change. The actual content, I feel, is still going to be the same. How did the teacher strike go? I don't know. I look, in all honesty, like seeing the primary teachers going to strike, I get a feeling the secondary teachers will go to do that as well. Max, I have done that. It's on the differentiation playlist. So let me just grab it. So Max, if you go to the differentiation playlist here, you will find it in there. I think it's like, I can't remember which episode it was, but there's double differentiate parametric equations is in there somewhere. It's one of the 15 episodes. Hey, Aswin, welcome back. Yeah, no, it's going to be quite weird, right, Sartorial, looking at those numbers for grades. It's going to be really different. No, I don't know Mr. Achari from Hillcrest High School. Year 12 trig and Pythagoras theorem. Jaden, year 12 trig. Man, I'm surprised you're still doing yes. Where is it, Jaden? There we go. On YouTube. Hang on, voice is going. Jaden, so on YouTube, under NCEA level 2, if you just click on this little tab there, you should see the level 2 trigonometric playlist. I think that has Pythagoras theorem, everything in it. I know what you're gonna say. Don't ask why. Yeah, I've heard that one, man. I've heard that one. That's a hilarious one. Oh man. All right, you know what, folks? I am gonna not on top, RL, not on top. 702, great question. How do I stay composed during exams? Now, one thing that I would say to you guys is this, right? Like when it comes to the exams, get into the habit of actually reading all the questions before the exam starts, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you can actually kind of mentally prepare yourself once you get to the exam, right? Like, so you're letting this little guy in the back of your brain do some work while you do all the easy questions. So look at all the easy questions, work through them first, and after that get on to like the semi-hard questions, give them a go, and then go from there. And if you do get nervous, like I like to do a quick grounding exercise, like I think it's like 5 things you see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel. That grounding exercise is really helpful to kind of like reset your breathing and reset yourself. That's another good one as well. I do remember Aswin. I've seen you around. Lena, yeah, more than enough time to learn coordinate geometry. I think I've got like 12 videos in there, which you should be able to do it. And considering it's an internal, you'll be fine. Not sure what your school's policies are, so it's something you need to check for your school. Amen. 2 more parts. We do relative risk and the shape of histograms and so on. But 702, that's a good thing though. If you're getting a merit in marks while making mistakes, then the more comfortable you are making those mistakes, like when it comes to the actual exam, you're a little bit more alert and you're a little bit more aware that you make these mistakes. Therefore, that's how you get those excellence questions correct. Catch you later, Samuel. You're welcome, man. Mats would tell, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here 8 o'clock every night. Catch you, mate. Thanks for joining, mate. But if you do any work, mate, just give me a yell and I can, shout you out. And if you're doing any work online, I saw that you were doing some live streams, and it'd be good for our kids to come and see a different perspective as well. So I'm not sure, Umar, what that add 0.5 in probability quickly, please. What it means, Umar. I don't understand your question. Yeah, I remember Aswin. I remember you coming into tutorials last year. That part, the add 0.5 part. Okay. Umar, for that one, I think it's session 4 of my playlist that I did. So in here, get onto this particular video, and I think it's like video 4 or 5 that actually covers that 0.5 part. I'm sure it's video 4. It's on YouTube, so you can go watch it there. Now, you're welcome, Umar. Sartorial, not sure. I don't really have a supercar. I just want a happy Toyota Fielder Corolla. I'm happy with that, man. Cooper, the excellence questions in level 3 calculus, they always will be hard during the mock exams, all right? Like, they're not going to be your straightforward ones. They always like to write some really tricky hard ones, and that's good for you because it just gives you another perspective and it teaches you to think in another way. So when you do get to the exams, you find those questions a little bit easier. Hello, Avnish. 100%, Mats would sell. 100%, man. I agree. Yeah, and it's nice to see a lot of kids actually coming on and just jumping in to help out. It's really cool. But no, definitely we'll do that next time, mate. Just pop in and say hi, and hang on. No, I'm subscribed now, so I'm your 386 right there, or 385. What am I? No, 388. There we go. All right, team. I am gonna switch off YouTube at the moment because that video needs to get saved, and I just realized I've been talking trash the whole time, so I need to actually edit that part out for that live, but that's fine. But yeah, thank you so much for joining today. We'll finish level 2 probability in the next couple of weeks, and then you should have all of your playlists ready for your full level 2 mocks. Easy, Vivan. I'm happy to help. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit. Give me a second, 702. I'm just shutting down YouTube and I'll jump on TikTok soon. All right, YouTube team, see you later. I'll see you tomorrow for Calculus AFG. I'm looking forward to it. Complex numbers is always fun. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. We've